Hi, class. Hopefully you had time to watch that short video about DVD bongs and you enjoyed it. The person who does the introduction is quite a character. But yeah, these are essentially love motels for a younger generation of people who, because they're under the age of 18, they cannot rent a regular hotel. There are laws against that. But it's also used by all sorts of people. I used to go there all the time just to watch movies because you get this awesome movie setup with these really sweet computer screen, or not computer screens, but projection screen. You get this awesome couch that is sometimes sticky, but mine was never sticky. There are some dirty DVD bongs that they don't clean very well, but mine was always great. It's you can order in food. They'll bring pizza. You can bring in your own beer. It's just really nice, and they have a surround sound system. Really nice place to watch a movie. And I had friends that would take naps in them. They would just find the longest movie they could find, like Braveheart or something, Titanic, and they would Avatar. They would drink too much, be out till 3 a.m. and then go to a DVD bong and rent it for the night so they could take a nap, waiting for the subway to start running again because the subway would stop at night and then it would get going again at 5:30. Rather than taking a really expensive taxi ride home, they would just get the DVD bong. And lots of other people use it for other things. So younger people use it as sort of a makeout room, the way we might have, well, maybe not us, but your parents might have used a sort of drive-in theater. I don't know what the modern equivalent is. I think I've asked my students this before, and they said the stairwell, where people go to make out. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, so what do you think? This is lockable door, food and drink allowed. Is this part of the sex industry? Because what I'm trying to point out is just physically displaying your intimacy with another person, or codifying your intimacy with another person via touching, via sex, is such a natural human thing to do. Every human does this, and it's a very natural human drive, right? But just to do that, to be intimate with your partner, requires expenditure. And you can do it at DVD bung, but people think it's kind of gross if you're over the age of 18. People expect a hotel, which is much more expensive. And so just, to go somewhere private in this industry, in this economy, is expensive, and it costs money to just simply be intimate. I find that so fascinating that money is starting to control, again, our access to things that used to be free, or things that are very basic to being a human being. So sorry, I'm skipping through some of these images, but I'm just sort of reminding you about what we've been through. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about DVD bongs a little bit, and I want to start talking about masculinity. Masculinity, as we know in the United States, is constructed in a particular way. Masculinity is constructed and reconstructed regularly. This is true particularly in the United States, but other cultures that have a very strong masculine initiation ritual, maybe they don't have to. After they do that one ritual, they never have to prove their masculinity ever again, right? But generally, masculinity is constructed and reconstructed. Masculinity is fluid and may be constructed differently in different situations and different cultural contexts. So if I went to a restaurant with my friends and it was a very fancy, expensive restaurant, and I wanted to be masculine and the waiter brought over a very big bill, I probably wouldn't put him in a headlock and shove his face into the ground, right? That is one type of masculinity that American men have access to, violence and power, but that's probably not appropriate for that situation. What would be appropriate for that situation is to pick up the bill and pay the whole thing yourself and say, don't worry, everybody, this one's on me. And that's a different kind of masculinity, that's showing off how much money you have, right? And that is more appropriate to that situation. Whereas, I don't know, if somebody, some guy starts hitting on your girlfriend right in front of you at a bar, maybe you would want to put them in a headlock and slam them to the ground, whereas you probably wouldn't want to slip them a $20 bill to go away. That would not be very masculine. So yeah, different kinds of masculinities for different kinds of situations. Multiple masculinities are produced at any given historical moment. The color pink is considered very feminine and not masculine in the United States right now. However, just in the early 1920s, pink was the most masculine color. Babies, particularly baby boys, all their clothing would be pink, and it was considered a very masculine color. So masculinity changes across cultures, but also in cultures through time. Different cultures and different periods of history construct masculinities differently. Masculinities do not exist prior to social behavior, either as bodily states or fixed personalities. Rather, masculinities come into existence as people act. So masculinity is a performance, as is femininity. It is a performance that you try to perform, and sometimes you fail, and sometimes you overachieve. They are accomplished in everyday conduct or organizational life as patterns of social behavior. So now in the next video, I'm going to start talking a little bit more about Korean types of masculinity and the ways that Korean people access masculinity that are some are the same or very similar to the United States and some are different.